So I just got done watching the first debates for the run for the presidency in 2020, and like many of you, I was probably you're probably bored out of your mind. It was pretty boring, wasn't it? It went on for a long time. The format is actually really bad. I feel I had a lot of people in chat. There's just too many people. You had 10 people, and remember in 2015 when it started, the last Democratic primary, it was only 5 people until it went down to, was it like 3 people at the end: Martin O'Malley, Bernie Sanders, and Hillary Clinton. And it was way, way better. This one was just a bit annoying because, of course, when you have 10 people over 2 hours, some people are going to get snubbed. And it's, of course, pretty obvious who they were pushing more than others. So Elizabeth Warren, especially in the first hour, answered so many questions. She had way more to talk about than everyone else combined. And she did really well, actually. I actually agreed with a lot of what she said. I liked a lot of what she was saying. And although, I don't personally like her as much as other people, and I way prefer Bernie Sanders, she did pretty well. But there's other people as well who did decently. I want to talk about who was the worst, though. Tulsi Gabbard was so disappointing. And obviously she did not get as much, time as other candidates because, for whatever reason, maybe because she's really anti-war. But also she just did not make the most of her time at all. Like, if you're watching her for the first time, you would not get the fact that she is similar to Bernie Sanders in any way. Not saying she's a carbon copy or anything, but her anti-establishment politics are much closer to him. But she sounded like just a generic politician, and it was so, just this American dream bullshit, which we all don't like and we're all pretty skeptical of. And the one good thing that happened is when she savaged Tim Ryan over foreign policy, basically saying, the cost in Afghanistan is just not worth it. I've fought in Iraq, I've seen people die. That was a really good bit, and that was the highlight for her. And her bit on Iran was all right as well. But overall, it was disappointing. I think it was really epitomised by the question she had on gay rights. And it was a weird one, like a loaded question, because they're trying to smear her, obviously. That's what it felt like. But then Cory Booker jumps in, hijacks the question, and then gives a way better answer, because he starts talking about trans people. He starts talking about, like, black trans people being murdered and stuff. It was such a better answer, and he just hijacked it. And Booker had quite a good debate, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he came out quite strong. So him, Castro, and Wild Bill de Blasio, they did the most surprising. I think Bill de Blasio did really good because his answers were very, very good, and the way he was challenging people, like Beto O'Rourke, I think it was Tim Ryan was another one, on things like war, on things like, corporations and banks, he did really well. It was really, really surprising. When he announced his run for president, everyone was like, not another one, and told him not to do it. But I think out of everyone, he was the biggest surprise. And, not saying again, I really like him, but in terms of the debate, he did really well. And Castro was pretty surprised. I guess, he was playing up to, the Miami base, and I think there was a lot of Hispanics in the audience by the sound of it. They did really like him. But you know what was super embarrassing? Beto and Booker cringily speak in Spanish, and this one Hispanic guy on the stage doesn't do it to the end. It made them look really stupid, to be honest. Like, the one guy who's like from a obviously has a way more Hispanic background. His name's Julian Castro, and then he doesn't speak Spanish and you two do. And apparently people said in the chat Booker's Spanish was awful. Beto's was actually pretty good, but it was just cringy, wasn't it? And Beto, I think he is nearly on level with bombing. I think him and Tulsi together did so bad. Like, Beto, I think he's done now. Like, what did he talk about that got people interested? I guess one thing that he was all right on was the migrant stuff. But at the same time, he was so, uncharismatic. He didn't really have any personality. He looked super nervous. And I think that's him done, especially when people like Bill de Blasio, Wild Bill de Blasio, were like bullying him during the stage. I think Castro really, done him a bit dirty as well. And I think those people did a lot better. And Warren, she didn't speak so much in the second half, but her answers were the best. And, she obviously got a lot of time to speak. Delaney, come on, man. What are you even doing there? Delaney and Tim Ryan, who has told these people they could win? Are they crazy? Do they honestly believe that? I'm watching these people and it's like, there is nothing about them. They're not passionate. Their answers are so generic. I honestly don't understand how delusional you have to be someone like that and run for president. I can't understand it. I know everyone wants power at the end of the day, but it's literally so crazy. And also that was it Governor Inslee. I just read somewhere he's backed by a super PAC. But he was quite interesting in the sense that he was the person who brought up climate change the most. And I think that is something people like Warren and even Tulsi could have done way better. Because Tulsi actually has a background in that stuff in terms of fossil fuels and stuff. And I don't understand why she didn't hammer that home more. He did a good job on it. So overall, I'd say the winners were Warren and Bill de Blasio. I say Castro and Booker did themselves a lot of favours as well. Tulsi and Beto, I think, bombed bad, like bad. I think they're done now. Like no, obviously no chance, no chance. And it was just, I felt bad for Tulsi because obviously not getting asked the questions, but when she did have the chance, she just didn't, make an impact. And obviously, I've forgotten someone. I've forgotten Klobuchar because she didn't make an impact. So boring, talking about how you can win in red states. Well, that just makes me think you're basically Republican light. And Tim Ryan, come on, man, what are you doing there? You and Delaney, get out. No one cares. No one cares. So overall, pretty boring, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the big one. It was more like the kiddies debate, and I think the people from this one who will be in the final one, like if they go to a format with 5 people, like how they started the 2015, 2016 primaries, I think the final 5 will be Biden, just because, it's Biden. He has a popularity because he's associated with Obama. I don't think he'll do that well in the debates, but Biden, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie, and then I think it's either going to be Booker or Yang as well. I think Yang might actually do quite well because he has a good point of view and he's quite a good speaker as well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. So I live this. Sorry, it's messed up. So I live streamed the debate tonight and we're just chatting throughout the whole thing. It made it a bit more bearable. So tomorrow night I'm going to live stream the Bernie versus Biden one. So come join me if you want. If you want to find me on social media, follow me at The Kavanagh on both Twitter and Instagram, and check out my Patreon, check out my WordPress blog. It's all in the description. And yeah, so hopefully I will see everyone tomorrow and hope you enjoyed my reaction. Let me know in the comments who you think won, who you think bombed, and who disappointed you the most. So for me, person who did themselves the most favours was Bill de Blasio. Person who overall won was Elizabeth Warren, and Tulsi and Beto are joint for bombing, in my opinion. So anyway, thank you, everyone for joining me on the stream tonight, and thank you for watching this if you have made it this far.